Greetings, everyone. I'm back again with another video. This video is going to be about how to connect with your ancestors. So basically, this is like somewhat of an intro to, or a small piece of my African spirituality course. Um, Ancestor reverence is a very important part of African spirituality. Um, the ancestors are said to be, kind of like basically like saints or angels. So if you're familiar with Catholicism or really any religion where there's like I'm sorry y'all know I be doing the most. um, any kind of religion where there's a like an intermediary between yourself and God. The ancestors kind of are that. They are said to petition to God on your behalf. Um, as you know, they have transcended to a different realm, meaning that they're deceased. So, they, okay, that is so nasty, y'all. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Um, so they're in a different realm. They're in a realm where in the spiritual realm where, most people will understand that that's where God is the Most High, the Creator resides, right? So, just a little background. I'm doing this video now. There's a specific reason why I'm doing this video now. I'm going to explain that to y'all. We are now in what we know as Halloween time, right? Where it's near Halloween. Most people think Halloween is an evil holiday, and to a point, really, it is. Well, it's not, but the true meaning of the holiday has been stripped. The only people that really practice it, I feel like correctly, are people who practice Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, which is like a Mexican holiday. Um, and then All Souls Day. I think that's a Catholic holiday. Um, but basically, it's to revere those who are deceased. So basically, right now, the sun is in Scorpio, meaning so people who are born who are considered Scorpios are born during this time period between October 23rd and November 21st, if I'm not mistaken. And these holidays fall in this time. Halloween, Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead, All Souls Day, and I think there are some other holidays and other faiths that um, primarily, I'm not primarily well versed on, and they all have to do with the same thing, with revering. Um, um, Somebody's texting me, and it's not even important. Turn my phone over. It all has to do with deceased and revering the deceased. Um, in America or in the United States, Halloween is kind of a perverted version, um, where we all dress up and because I know it has something to do with the other people. They were like afraid of the spirits or whatever, so they were like dressing up to be a to so the spirits wouldn't come and haunt them or something like that. Um, but still, there's this thing. There's this spookism. There's this thing with there being you know, with the deceased, with, creatures that we aren't really familiar with, that whole thing. So, Scorpio, that sign is known to be the sign of birth and rebirth. I'm sorry, birth, rebirth, yeah, and death and rebirth. So it's a very deep sign. People who are Scorpios, I am one, and I have a lot of Scorpio on my chart. Um, if you want a birth chart, hit me up. I do birth charts. Meaning, if you don't know what your rising or your moon sign is, which are other parts of your personality which make up your astrology. We can discuss that further because that kind of explains um, who you are on a deeper level. It's not just, oh, I'm a Leo. There's a rising and a moon sign that make up all of your personality. So, and some more parts as well. So just contact me if you want a birth chart. Um, so most people who know me will be like, oh, I'm very intense. I'm very passionate. Some people will feel like, oh, I'm kind of into what most people would consider spooky stuff. You know, people know that I read cards. Um, the deceased do come to me in dreams. And these are people that are kin to me. So these aren't just like random people that come to me. Although that does happen to some people. You know, they do have just random dead people that come to them in their dreams. I'm sure if I did ancestor readings, I would get more of that. Unborn children, um, so children that haven't been conceived yet or are in the womb, will come to me. That has happened to me most recently. Um, yeah. So, yeah. So, and that's not really uncommon because Scorpio is known to be a very psychic sign. They tend to be very, um, just kind of into the things that other people think are taboo. They're also known as the sex sign. Sex has to do with birth. You know, life it's a life giving act. So, um, we're in that time. We're in the time of Scorpio. So there are these holidays associated with that. Just like in other times, there are those holidays have something to do with those signs. So a lot of people will celebrate holidays and they don't really understand what those holidays represent. So like I said, Halloween is very commercial. The Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, that's like a real. I feel like it's a real holiday. Like they practice what this season actually represents. They say that the veil is thinnest at this time between the spiritual and the physical world, meaning you're more likely to have paranormal things happen right now. Which is why they have this whole Halloween thing. People get spooked out because stuff really does happen around this time. People will have psychic dreams. All kind of things, happen around this time period. Scorpio season. Because we're transitioning into winter. Okay, so it's a very intense, it's a very deep time. Most Scorpios are really deep people. They're very intense people. So, connecting with your ancestors. So, um, this is not just a practice that's done in African spirituality. There are a lot of Catholics who do this. There are, I know in Asian religions, Buddhism, um, this is very common. As we know, in America, Asians dominate the nail industry, nail salons. People know that they own nail salons, and when you go in the nail salon, you see. I feel like there's so much noise in this video. Hold on, y'all. Noah, can you come here real quick? Can you close mommy's door? That's all I need you to do. Thank you so much. Just close it. Just close it, babe. Can I watch the Simpsons? Yes, but you need to close the door for me first, and I have to finish doing what I'm doing, and then I'll come in there and I'll help you. Okay. So, I think that helped with the noise. So, because I want to get to the meat of the video. So, yes. So, like I said, a lot of cultures do this. And what I was saying is, the nail shop, when you walk in there, you'll see like a shrine to Buddha or something like that, or altar to Buddha, and that's what again, it's the same thing, giving reverence to that person. Some people think it's weird, they think it's devil worship, whatever. Churches have altars, so to have an altar in your home to your grandmother, who you just go and pray to, who you just go and ask for advice, who you just go and tell her that you love her. I don't know, it's not really weird to me. Because we honor deities that we don't even know, we're not even related to. So I don't think it's weird. But again, I'm a Scorpio, so African spirituality, yeah. So I'm gonna give you guys a rundown. Okay, I'm reading this from my phone. Um, Having an ancestral altar in your home or office is vital if one is to establish and maintain a connection with the ancestors. It is not just enough to have a few photos of your dead relatives here and there about your home or office. The ancestors must have their own space, a sacred space. They reside as the head of the family, clan, lineage, or family hierarchy. You will need the following items: a white cloth to cover the altar. The altar can be a table, nightstand, coffee table, etc., your choice. These four elements must be maintained: fire, water, wind, and earth. Fire. You can use a white 7-day candle. White represents the bones of the ancestors. Washing machine is going crazy. I'm about to turn it off. A 7-day white candle is the air that keeps the flame lit. Water, in a fancy bowl, glass, or goblet. Wind, incense, such as frankincense, myrrh, lavender. Earth, plain, a plant with a planter with dirt in it. It can be used for libations. Libations are the pouring of water. If you've ever heard of people saying they're pouring some out for the homies, that comes from pouring libations. 2. Food. Food to serve the ancestors. So these are staples and not limited to these food items. Staples and not limited to these food items, but these items should be served on a regular basis: beans, rice, plantain or banana, corn, chicken, and fruit when in season. Smokes. Chewing tobacco, cigars, cigarettes, American spirit is best. Snuff, tobacco for a pipe, and white sage for clearing the space of negative energy. The ancestors love smokes, okay? Especially if you have an ancestor that used to smoke. Like, that's like the best gift is to give them a cigarette. And when I say give them, and you're giving them food, you just put it on their altar. The food, you don't want to leave it on there a long time. Of course, because the rot and stuff will come around it. But just put it on your altar. And, just for a little bit. And that's your way of feeding the ancestors. It's an offering to the ancestors. Just like you give offerings, money in church. You give them food. You give them chewing tobacco. Also, alcoholic water is what you put in the goblet or the bowl. And an alcoholic beverages occasionally, such as gin, rum, or beer. Be careful if there was an addiction of an ancestor, of an ancestor that had alcoholism. As your relationship deepens with the ancestors, they will come to you and tell you their likes and dislikes. So be open to them. Meaning, when I say tell you, you have dreams. You'll get the taste for something that you might not usually have a taste for. So that's how they'll tell you stuff. So miscellaneous stuff. Place all spiritual items on your ancestral shrines, such as crystal. I read cards. I put my cards on my ancestral altar. I do feel like that's why my readings are so accurate, because the ancestors are guiding me when I'm doing my reading. Bells, shakers, and drums to summon them. So when you approach the altar, you may want to shake your shakers or hit your drum or chime your bell. Also, even though we no longer practice Christianity, old gospel music still has the medicine in it. I mean, like Negro spirituals. They are so powerful because it's not this watered down stuff that people play now. Not to say that it isn't uplifting or inspirational, but back then, no people the people were just fresh off the plantation. They still had that African, that medicine in their music, and you can even hear that. When you hear an old woman get to singing in church, you feel something, and that's that ancestral power. That's that elder power. So that can be played to usher in the ancestors. So when you go to your altar and you want to open up the space, again, this is just like church. You're basically having church at home. You're having a spiritual service at home. And when I was first kind of understanding this, I didn't really get it, and I was like, this is just like church. You're doing this at home, in your house. Just like they have the tambourines at church and all this other stuff. I mean, same thing. When you need them, only ask for the pristine and the righteous ancestors to come forth. When you go to them, like, you praying, or you're meditating, ask for only the righteous ancestors to come forth. You don't want your grandpa or somebody who was the evil person to come forth and to wreak havoc. We know that all your ancestors weren't good people. As most families. Everybody doesn't have like a family of saints. But you want, your grandmother who always looked after you, and your other ancestors that you may not even know to come forth. I've had, since I've been working with my altar, and I'm saying having service at my altar, they do come forth to me in dreams. Um, they did come to me at one time and told me that I was going to have a child, and I was like, huh? Because I was single at the time, and I was like, well, who and how? Me and my attitude, right? But that did come to pass for me. So, I remember when they gave me the baby in the dream, I was like, looking at them crazy, like, who baby is this? And the lady was like, she was speaking another language, and that's another way that you can know that it's your ancestors in your dreams. Your foreign, your far back ancestors is when they come to you and they're speaking in a different language, but you can interpret it in the dream, like in the dream, because when you're in the dream state, it's different. But they come, when they're in a different, that that washing machine is cutting up. It's so loud. Y'all, hold on. It's just so ratchet. Okay, just turn it off. Right. So, yeah. So, y'all forgive me. I'm a little bit tired, but I wanted to do this video, because I know that people were asking me like, "What do you mean? Go to your ancestors? What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I mean, they really work stuff out for you. Like, how people say, "Oh, the Lord worked it out for me." And I'm not knocking nobody else's religion, but the ancestors work stuff out for me. I used to be Christian, and I would just say that I see a distinct difference in how my prayers and my requests and things are answered. I mean, if somebody is evil, someone's bothering me, and I go to my altar and I'm like, help me, and I give them, some chicken and some rum, and I don't even have to do that, but it's a nice gesture. You don't want to forget about them. You don't want to start feeding them and giving them stuff, and then you just kind of fall off. You want to consistently do that, even if it's putting fresh water on there every day. And you can either just water your plant, or you can put it in a cup, or a glass. And what you want to do is you want to put pictures of your ancestors on your altar. If you don't have a picture of them, you can write their name and put it in a picture frame. The female ancestors go on the right, the male ancestors go on the left. But when I go to my ancestors and I need something, I'm telling you, it happens like that. Stuff gets done like that. Stuff just gets handled. And I mean, they say, the Lord may not come when you want it, but He come right on time. Man, that's how I be. That's how I feel. It's like, dang, I don't know if I can take this no more. I'm just really at my wit's end. I can't do this anymore. And I mean, just like that, the situation will just be resolved. Um, it's just amazing. So basically, what you want to do is you want to get a coffee table, nightstand, and you want to try to use as many things that are natural as possible. So if you can get something that's wood, that's better. But the ancestors understand. If you don't have nothing and you gotta put everything in a corner, that's what you gotta do. They understand. They know where you are in your walk. And basically what you do is you set up your stuff. So you want to put your white 7-day candle. You're gonna put your picture of your grandma, your picture of your grandpa, or your mom, or your dad, or the deceased relatives that you have that you want to revere, that you respect, that you love, that you have, or those that you have names of, and you put them on your altar. And you can sit there. I sit, or sometimes I kneel, and you might as well just have a cup of coffee with them too. Like coffee. I know my granny loved coffee, so I give her coffee. And I just sit there and I'll talk with them about my problems. I'll cry. I don't typically go with them when I'm angry. But just when I need to pour out my heart, I go. Even when I just want to be like, hey, I had a great day today. Thank you for protecting me and my son. And yeah, I just share a funny story with them. Like, you're just gonna sit there and talk with them, you know, as if they're there. And when you first go to them the first time, just basically be like, hey, I want to open up this space, and I want to begin to revere you. You know, I love you, Granny. I love you, Grandpa. I miss you. I bring here water and a plant. And I mean, I like even now. I still don't have a plant on my altar. You know, so it's not about the materialism. It's not about having every little thing. I mean, eventually you want to get to a point where you have a beautiful, elaborate altar, and that's nice. But it's not about that. It's about because water is a conductor. So to me, having water on my altar is like the most important thing. Sometimes I burn incense there, and um, I'll burn candles there if I need certain things done. So I'll burn a green candle if I need some money. But I still will burn a white candle because that's like a all whatever candle, and white represents the bones of your ancestors. So that's why you have a white candle, you have a white cloth, and I just tell them what I need, and um, this is the perfect time to do that, y'all. Like, this is why everybody's so creeped out around this time, because it's ancestor time, and I know speaking to the dead that creeps people out. But these are your ancestors, and they're with you all the time. They are your angels. They are your guardian angels. These are the ones that are watching over you all the time. There's nothing um scary or creepy about it, you know. Yeah. So that's how you build your altar. If you have more questions about how you should do certain things, you can just comment or you can email me. Um, Also, if you want to practice African spirituality, you're interested in getting into it, I do have a African Spirituality 101 course on my website, which is the www.chosenwomb.com, and I'll put that below in the description box. And it will, you'll learn about other deities. And what you do is you basically build an altar with these other deities. If you want to know which deities are, you're associated with, or which ones that are calling out to you, I can do a reading for you, and I'll tell you which deities are connecting with you. Also, the deities that kind of rule over this time are Oya in the Yoruba tradition, which is a Ifa, which is a West African spiritual system, and Oya, she rules over storms. There is a storm going on right now in Mexico. She is, she's over storms. She's also over the graveyard and over death. So again, she's the one that's associated with Scorpio, which I go over in my astrology course, because my astrology course, which is my astrology 101 course, also at chosenwomb.com. That course has an African twist on it. So you learn all about astrology, but I also tell you what deity rules over what sign. Um, so yeah, Oya is the deity for this time for Scorpio season. And then in New Orleans, or Haitian voodoo, Grandmama Brigitte, Grandma Bridget, um, in English, that's the deity that rules over this time. She's also over um death and the graveyard, and she's also over business, and also it's Oya. Oya is a businesswoman as well. So these deities really, they're kind of the same, but they're not, because they're from two different traditions. But yeah, this is the time for death and for renewal and for rebirth, and for just getting your stuff together and for going deeper within. And so this is a great time to deepen or start a spiritual practice with your ancestors. So like I said, it's just like having church at your altar. Um, if you, and I say that just because I want people to understand what it is. It's just like you go to the altar and you pray and you put money up there. I go to my altar, to my ancestors, and I bring food, and I ask them and I ask the Creator to help me, because again, they are the intermediary between. Um, they're already with God. They're right there chilling with God right now, with the goddess, the creator, the Most High. And these terms that I'm using them for ease of understanding. Okay. Um. But yeah. So. Um. I'm sorry. I heard my son talking. Um. So yeah. So it's really simple. But you will see the synchronicities in your life, and you will see the blessings. The blessings. You will see these wonderful things happening in your life. Um. By connecting with your ancestors, like they're waiting on you. Like they're waiting on you to acknowledge them. Um. The water, the pouring of libations. One way to, if you don't want to build an altar, if you have, a home situation where you can't build an altar in your house, you can pour libations outside and just talk to them. Like I have gone to a tree before and poured out libations by a tree. And when I say pour libations, pouring water, pouring rum, pouring gin, whatever I have by a tree, and just squatting there and talking to them about my problem, being like, hey, I really need help with this, or hey, I'm really still hurt about this happening to me. Or hey, I'm really, really excited about this. Thank you. Um, so that's another option if you can't have an altar in your house. I understand for some people, you can't have an altar in your house. You know, your mom might not play that. You don't might not want your roommate to know what you're doing, and I understand. So that's another option. Is just go to a tree, or just go outside. Period. Just go outside to a private space. Um, yeah. So if you have any questions about this, inbox me, email me, comment below, and I'll probably do another video. I'm really tired, y'all. I've been going through some stuff um on my health. I don't want to. It's nothing bad. I'm just going through a transition, and I'm just really tired these days. And I'll announce some stuff going forward, probably more so around winter. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of sleepy and tired, so I probably sound a mess, and I'm sure I look a mess. But I wanted to share that information with you guys, and thank you so much for all of your support. The orders are coming in, the readings are coming in. That's part of why I'm tired right there. I have a lot going on, and then I'm a mom, and I have a job, and so thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.